Welcome my dear students of class 10A to my history revision class. In my revision class of history, I am going to revise this lesson. Chapter number 2, the beginning of Indian nationalism. Nationalism, Western education, transport and communication, social reform movements, the Muslim reform movements, discovering the glorious past of India. These are the points. As per these points, I am going to re-explain this lesson, beginning of Indian nationalism. This is revision class, my dear students, because teaching of a lesson as per first unit, syllabus of first unit test is completed. Now it is only for your conveniences. I am revising all my previous lessons. So you be attentive to my classes. Now first point, nationalism. How was the concept of nationalism formed among the Indians? You know, once upon a time the British were the traders of India, but later on they became the ruler of India. On being the ruler of India, they became very much oppressive, introduced a number of repressive policies which made Indians very much aggressive. But at the same time, the policy of drain of wealth made them, very much oppressive. In order to shift India's capital, India's wealth, India's money to their own country, they required Indian educated people. That's why they introduced Western education among the Indians. Now why? What was the reason they introduced Western education? In the interest of themselves. Initially they started establishing the concept of Christianity by Christian missionaries, and at the same time they decided to Western education among the Indians in order to save their expenditure. Because during the period when the British introduced Western education, the British officials would come, the British would come to India and join the British administration in India. The British government had to pay them fat salary. And as soon as Indian people receive Western education, the British decided to provide English educated Indians the responsible posts in their administration, but paying less salary. But Indian people did not have any knowledge of it. But in course of time they came to know the amount of salary they were paid was less than the British officials. It harmed the sentiments of the Indians. As a result, they realized, educated people realized that in spite of being Indians, they were dependent. In spite of being their national identity, their own nation, they were dependent on foreign rule. So they must be united. They must have their political organization, so that they must protest against the British oppression, British law, which was harming the sentiments of the Indians. And it was due to that reason the concept of nationalism formed among them. They realized that they had their own nationality, they had their own national identity. It must be safeguarded. They must, they must protest the oppressive rule of the British, and they must they must be united against the foreign oppressive rule so that their country must become free of their control. That's why the concept of nationalism encouraged Indian nationalists. And next one, Western education. The British introduced Western education among the Indians. As I mentioned earlier, the Western education helped them to be self-sufficient not only, but also to protest against the injustice done to them. Because the Western education gave them jobs. But the Indian educated people were not happy with the jobs of the British. Why? They were paid less salary, they were humiliated, they were insulted. It harmed Indian sentiments. As a result, they got themselves united against the injustice done to them. They realized that India must be freed from British control, freed of British control. For that reason, what was required most? Their unity. What was required most? An all Indian political organization. So that they must raise their, grievances. They raised various questions against the misgovernance of the British in India. That's why, the Western education had become a great factor of Indian national movement. Next one, transport and communication. Transport and communication. The British, introduced a good system of railway network throughout India. After the Industrial Revolution, the British realized that India was a large country. It had a large market. So, the finished products which were coming from their own country, England, to India, should be supplied as smooth as possible. That's why a railway network, a large railway network was set up in India. The first railway line which was set up from Bombay to Thane in the year 1853 had become a great achievement of the British. They also extended that lines in different parts of India. In your book, my dear students, it is written 1953, the first railway line was set up in India from Bombay to Thane in 1953, but it is absolutely wrong. Please get it rectified. Cut it 1953 and instead write 1853. Instead of it, you write 1853. It is not 1953, it is in 1853. Okay? It is printing mistake. Anyway, similarly, the British also introduced a good network of communication. What is this? Telegraph. The telegraph services help Indians to communicate with each other and also spread their vital information, the secret messages of the Indian revolutionaries. It helped in planning effective mass movement such as those required during the civil disobedience movement. That's why it helped them to be united. And next one, social reform movements. Social reform movements in India encourage Indian people not only but Indian revolutionaries and nationalists. Raja Ram Mohan Roy removed social evils on the grassroots level of society. Raja Ram Mohan Roy encouraged Governor General Lord William Bentinck to declare Soti system illegal. On being inspired by the ideals and spiritual explanation, philosophical explanation of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Lord William Bentinck was inspired. Lord William Bentinck was inspired by the ideals of Raja Ram Mohan Roy's philosophical explanation, spiritual explanation, and the knowledge of, European philosophy. There grew a friendship between Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Lord William Bentinck. And hence Lord William Bentinck declared Sati system to be illegal and saved thousands of widows from being burned to death. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar also convinced the British government to declare, to pass an act for widow remarriage. The miserable conditions of the widows touched his heart. That's why the British also passed an act that was Widow Remarriage Act, which was passed by the British under the inspiration of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayananda Saraswati's ideals. His philosophical explanation encouraged Indian revolutionaries. They all got themselves united. Raja Ram Mohan Roy's Brahmo Samaj, Jyotiba Phule's Satya Sadhak Samaj removed inequality, removed casteism. A number of schools and colleges were established in order to remove illiteracy, in order to provide education from all group of people, in order to crush Brahmanic influence. Satya Sadhak Samaj started working. And not only that one, a young professor of Hindu College, Henry Louis Vivian Delosio, dedicated his life for the cause of India's upliftment, social, political, and economic upliftment. He established one group known as Young Bengal. He was a young professor, young college teacher of Hindu College, taught European history, moral science, and English. While teaching European history, he focused on the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity because he himself was influenced by the French Revolution. He was influenced by the struggling of the Americans for making their country independent, for overthrowing the rule of the British from their country, America. That's why American War of Independence and the French Revolution, both the two historical incidents, touched the heart of Henry Louis Vivian. He was influenced by the two historical events and encouraged the people of India to make the country, to make their motherland free from foreign control. That's why the revolutionaries, nationalists, also were influenced by the young professor of Hindu College, Henry Louis Vivian Delosio. And after that, another movement started throughout the country, that was the Muslim Reform Movement. The Muslim Reform Movement You know, the Muslims did not have faith on British administration because the Muslims were shifted from power by the Britishers. The last, independent Nawab Sirajuddaulah was shifted from power by the British East India Company. And after that, the British became the ruler of India. That's why the Muslims had common hatred for the Britishers. They neglected the British, and hence they joined the Hindus in order to overthrow the British rule from this country, India. And as a result of it, they didn't receive Western education. They learned only Urdu, Arabic, this kind of languages. But they never thought of learning English. But it was Sir Syed Ahmed Khan realized that not ignoring foreign language means English language was a great mistake committed by the Muslim people. Western education must be introduced among them. They must learn English language properly. Otherwise, they would not be benefited with that system introduced by the British, but only the Hindus. The Hindus were getting many advantages from the Britishers since they received Western education, but not the Muslims. So this act of thinking should be removed immediately. The Muslim must receive Western education. The Muslim must learn English properly so that they must become a part of British administration. They must compete with the Hindus. Otherwise, they would be deprived of all privileges and utilities given by the Britishers. That's why Sir Syed Ahmed Khan encouraged the Muslims as a social reformer. He established a number of schools, colleges, and then made India to be a place for Muslim higher education, Anglo-India, the Aligarh the Aligarh Muslim University was also established by him. So, this is the reason for discovering the glorious past of India. The glorious past, all these things happened due to the contributions of the social reformers, contributions of the educationists. They all encouraged the Indians to rediscover the glorious past of India. Once upon a time, India was a large country, was a country of different communities. Rulers ruled that country independently. So these were the history. The educationists encouraged the people of India to receive, and then they all got themselves united against the foreign rule and took an oath to overthrow the rule of the Britishers. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.